I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Thank you, Bill. Of course. Yeah, we're going to do it live. Here we go. It's another edition of the Daily Puck Drop. It is Wednesday, February 4th. Kiddos, thank you for checking in here on this Wednesday as we count you down to kickoff. Coming up on the show today, we'll be joined shortly by our special guest joining Jim and I will be Joel Dahmen. We'll talk about, of course, the Seahawks and Patriots, why it seems so likable. Mike McDonald's got a chance at making history. Coming up on Sunday, we also got In the Bloody Trenches with Rob Staton from SeahawksDraftBlog.com. As always, we are, of course, brought to you by Limbeck Lumber. Limbeck Lumber is your one-stop local shop for all your lumber needs. Give them a call at 206-782-3487. Visit them at LimbeckLumber.com. They got old school service because they've been doing it since 1930, ladies and gentlemen. You can follow me on all the social media platforms, Puck Sports, everywhere except for TikTok, which is Puck_sports. And you can join the Puck's Posse for just $5 a month. You support everything that we do. Plus, you get free shows at pucksports.com. Ladies and gentlemen, with us Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, fresh off the hiking trail in Bend, Oregon.
That's right, Puck, and I forgot to shut the door. I'm probably going to wake my wife up. Yes, she's still asleep at 9 o'clock.
It's amazing. Well, you're an hour off. It's 10. So don't worry about it. If she's still asleep at 10, it's amazing
That's right.
that she's still in bed. Well, good for her. She's like a teenager, Jim.
Yeah. Hey, we're retired. What the hell? Hey, Puck,
Yeah.
I want to thank Brad Brotherton at Brotherton Cadillac and Shoreline, Brotherton Cadillac, Buick GMC in Shoreline. With Brotherton Choice Vehicles, you'll get a complimentary first oil change and tire protection, wide selection of personalized financing with BrothertonAuto.com. Also want to thank Brian Turner up in Oak Harbor for a clean streak. They'll clean your gutters. They'll clean your roofs. They'll pressure wash your driveway. Brian Turner and his crew, they're the experts at it all. So give them a call. Give them a call right now, 360-395-5748. Get a free estimate or visit acleanstreak.com.
Well, we've got a special guest that's joining us. We thought we would, on this Wednesday show, Jim, we would class it up a little bit. We would class up the Wednesday Daily Puck Drop, and we would bring on a real expert, a real true Seahawks fan. You know, Chris Pratt apparently is introducing the Seahawks on Super Bowl Sunday. If it were me, our next guest would be the guy that would be introducing the Seahawks. Ladies and gentlemen, fresh off a great 4 rounds at the Farmers Insurance and getting ready for the Waste Man, has been joining us from Arizona, where it's probably nice and warm. It is Seahawks superfan Joel Dahmen. Joel, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. Looks like I'm frozen. I don't know if you can hear me. Are we doing it live?
Yes, we're doing it live. You're frozen, but it's okay. But
Great.
This is actually, I just like that you're going to be frozen maybe the entire time, and then we just hear you.
That's great.
It's probably not even really you.
No, this is my stunt double for the week. I have a very busy week here for the Phoenix Open. So I have a few different people popping in and popping out. But luckily, this version of Joel is a true Seahawks fan and did play pretty good golf last week as well.
How much do you like their chances this week, Joel?
Okay, I hate to admit this, but I've listened to you guys quite a bit here this last week, especially on my drive home from San Diego. 6 hours in the car, so I listen to you guys as well. But the math, I don't understand the math here. Like, we're gonna win by 2 touchdowns, aren't we? Like, what are we? How? I don't. There's no way we lose. Number one, but like, the ball's got to bounce really funny. Drake Maye's got to become like Walter Payton or something. I don't understand how the Seahawks are not going to win by 10 plus points.
You want to go another? Like, I lost $200 to you on the Apple Cup, but
stop betting against the Seahawks, for God's sakes.
Well, yes, I am.
What is wrong with you?
I'll take the 4.5, Joel.
Oh my God!
You want to go 4.5? I'll donate to your charity again. $100.
That's great. Yeah, whatever you want. Whenever you get your weekly pension for being old, you can send it over to the Dahmen Family Foundation.
Yeah. Okay, listen to the guy who just made 300 grand last week, just playing golf.
Hey,
Damn, 300 grand.
hey, taxes are a lot in California.
Oh, come on. You know how many years I had to work at the PI to make 300,000? Come on.
You never made $300,000 ever in
10
your
years.
life there. 10? 20?
But you were
So Joel, you're confident. You're like everybody else here. Because everybody in this town is just like, the chest is out and they're like, there's no way we're going to lose. We're going to win this thing easy.
Yeah, Seattle sports, typically we're not overly optimistic and we're kind of, everything's cloudy and gray, but something smells really funny. This line is way too low at 4.5. Seattle sports fans are way too excited about everything. I don't know if a Super Bowl can be a trap game, but this smells like a trap game somehow. It's like we're playing, when we played the Colts and Phillip Rivers something, we almost lose to them.
Yeah.
It's like this weird, something smells funny, and it's kind of scary when you sit back and look at it all, because there's no reason we shouldn't win this thing.
That's exactly why I like the Patriots, though, Joel, because the public's usually wrong about things, and everybody in Seattle is like, there's no way we can lose. And then Sunday night, I'm going, it might be what the hell happened.
Right, and you've never heard Seattle sports fans like this. Like, even, social media to radio to everything we're taking in is just like, and even a lot of the public is saying that we're obviously going to win. So it's wild. It's an interesting time to be a Seahawks fan.
And I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I don't like being the team that is considered to be the top dog, to be the favorite, to like, oh, they should just walk in here and win easily. Jim and I, we're glass half empty guys, and I need that. I need no one's picking us, and everyone expects us to lose on Sunday.
Well, you guys are glass half empty because you guys are Cougars. So you just live your entire life on that side of the glass. Like, there's nothing you can do.
But
are we about done with the interview?
Yeah, we got about one more question, then we're done. But Jim, you're right. Jim, we
the
go
guy
into
grows
games.
up 30 miles. He grows up 30 miles from Pullman and chooses to be a Husky.
He's more Cougar than he realized. He's more Coug than he is Husky. He knows.
It's my second favorite school by a mile. I still enjoy the great Palouse in Eastern Washington.
All right. Why are we so confident, Jim? Why? Jim, you're not confident. Yeah, Jim's not. Jim thinks they're going to lose.
I was last week. I thought they were going to beat the Rams by 10 last week. But this week,
it doesn't make any sense. We knew that was going to be a field goal game. It always is.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm with you guys. I think the Seahawks are going to win the game, and they should win it handily. But it's just too many people are thinking the same thing, and whenever that happens, it seems to go the other way.
You're totally right. It's one of those things that the math isn't mathing, and it just smells a little funny. But I'd certainly rather be a Seahawks fan on Sunday than a Patriots fan.
Oh, okay, so what would make you nervous about the game, Joel?
I think the way Darnold played against the Rams was incredible, right? 300+ yards, 3 touchdowns, handled the pressure really well, didn't throw the ball to the other team. I think there's still this little scary thing that he might throw the ball to the other team.
Yes.
And weird stuff happens in the Super Bowl where special teams play, or a ball bounces funny. If it's just a good, clean football game, like if the Hawks play solid and we take care of the ball, there's no way we lose. But it's one game and weird stuff happens. So I think I'm just a little worried that, a fluke play here, or they have a special teams touchdown, something funky is going to happen. Is the only thing I'm worried about. But I just think we could even overcome probably that.
Are you equal parts Seahawk fan and Mariners fan, or do you get more disappointed or more elated when one team wins over the other?
Oh, that's a great question. I certainly was a larger Seahawks fan for the majority of, the last 10, 12 years, whatever it's been, since the Hawks have been really good and the Mariners have not been great. But this last late summer and fall with the Mariners was something completely different that I hadn't felt with Seattle sports ever, probably. I fell in love with the Mariners again, and I was genuinely heartbroken when we lost to the Blue Jays. Like it felt different than I've ever really felt before about it. So currently, I've got to meet, Woo, and Cal Raleigh's actually playing the Pro-Am today. I'm going to say hi to him. So the connection I have with the Mariners guys are even a little more now, and they're down here at spring training, and I'm going to go see him for a day and hang out there. So that part to me is probably I'm probably tilted towards Mariners, but luckily they don't really cross over too much in the season, so I can kind of split them equally.
Okay, so the Pro-Am is today. We're going to get to how you got into the waste management, because it's just fucking great.
Yeah.
What you did. All right, but so he's playing in it today. Why are you not playing with him?
I am still a B list and maybe C list out here on the tour when you get to these big events. So there's a lot bigger top dogs out there than me, and so he's got his own golf bag. Ping made it. It says big dumper on it with a dump truck. It's actually really cool. I'll have to send you guys a picture of it. So yeah, he's out there. I think Woo's gonna walk around with him, and then there's a whole host of celebrities out there today. It's gonna be a fun day.
Who is he playing with?
If you didn't ask me, I could have told you. Maybe Sam Burns and Theegala today, I think is what it is.
Oh, you're a much bigger deal than Sam Burns and Theegala. Jesus, Lord. Guarantee it. Jim, back me up on that. Come on.
Yeah, you're a bigger deal. You're not a B-lister. You're not a C-lister. You're still an A-lister, Joel. I mean, come on. Look what you did last week at Torrey Pines. Come on.
There was a lot of good golf there for sure. Obviously, that back nine got a little rough with missing fairways, but really the 8th and 9th hole is kind of more not great. But it was a great week. But my 15 minutes of fame after this Netflix, I'm about 14 minutes and 55 seconds. And after that hits, I'm going to take Jim's job and sit next to Puck and chat.
Yes. God, I can't wait. You understand how much I can't wait for this, to where we get to kick him out and just have you on? God,
it'll be great.
Counting it down.
I mean, you've had some absolutely incredible moments this last week. From Jim's Ozempic joke was absolutely incredible.
It was low blow.
It was. I feel like we could have some good banter in there, and we can still have Jim join once a week, not 3 times a week.
Yeah. God, you know what? You're sitting there talking about replacing me. Come on, man. And I praise the shit out of you all the time. My kids were excited. When we were watching you on TV in the final round of the Farmers, you're playing with Justin Rose. You're in the final damn group. I'm calling my kids. I'm going, Jesus Christ, look at Joel Dahmen out there. And one of my kids goes, Dad, he was at Valhalla. We met him at Valhalla. So, I mean, and you're saying all these things, although the Ozempic joke, okay, fine, thank you. But, talking about replacing me, I don't really appreciate that.
Well, your time's coming. Your clock is ticking there, Jim.
Yeah. It is. Hey, wait a minute. Are we talking about
68,
the show?
I'm well aware of that.
Are we talking about the show or just in life in general?
Both.
Yeah, it is both.
Listen, there's always this golf analogy when it comes to, death and dying, especially when you get to be my age. And you always say, gee, I wonder what hole I'm on. I know I'm on the back 9. And so you like to think that maybe you're, on the 13th fairway, getting to the 14th tee. What would you say? Knowing me as you do, what do you think I am? What do you think I am? What hole am I on? You think I'm on the 18th green?
This turned really dark. Good God.
Well, I don't care. I didn't plan on taking this turn, but
I think. How about this? It feels like you have about an 8-foot uphill right to left putt on the 14th green. Feel like you got some time left, and you're making a birdie here.
Oh, really? I thought 18, but he had to go over water, and the ball was just about 5 feet from the water. That's what I thought you were going to say. Like, is it 18 or 17? What's the one at Waste Management where you got to kind of cut the water? Is that 18?
It is the 18th. Yeah, there's water down the left side there.
Yeah, he's going in the water.
Well. Okay, well, you could just play it out right in the people and chip it around the water there. I feel like you could just keep chipping it around and, keep your ball in play if you wanted to.
All right. Okay. Now, listen, I got to ask you this because I'm sitting there watching that, you in the final. What's it like being in the final group in a PGA Tour event? You're trying to chase down a leader who's playing out of his mind like he's Scotty Scheffler or something. And, I just would have been nervous beyond belief, but I imagine that you were keeping it together out there.
Yeah, there's, it's really fun because the environment is great. From even the driving range, the putting green to the walk to the first tee, like you have energy and it's just way more than a typical day. Obviously, a little different when you're 6 back and Rosie's playing, record-breaking week going on there. So you kind of feel like you're playing for second, which is great too, right? But the energy, and it's at being, this point in my career and been around it a few times, you can take that energy and you can channel it into yourself versus kind of looking around wide-eyed and scared of it. So you can take it and you can focus it and you can put it in the right places. And I did a pretty good job of that overall, but you're definitely nervous. The first two, you're nervous. And then you kind of get off the box and you're fine. And then your first putt is pretty nerve wracking because that's the first time you're feeling the speed of the greens out there, and everything's on you in that moment where you can kind of feel like you can hide more in the fairway type thing. And after that, you settle in okay. And then there's some big golf shots, you have to hit, and they'll, the heart rate will ramp up. But for the most part, it's just really fun. And it's great to look around and really enjoy the moment, because it doesn't, for me, it doesn't happen as much as other guys.
Jim, the highlight of this whole thing is the fact that he's frozen the whole time. So again, not that's the best part. You can hear him perfectly, but he's frozen.
I've been picking my nose this whole time.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, it's like Mannequin Mike. You know how they call Mike McDonald Mannequin Mike? It's Mannequin Joel.
Yeah, this is perfect.
No.
Hey, Joel, it's all well and good that you were playing for second last week, but I need you to play for first this week because I got you at 185 to 1. Okay, second doesn't pay shit. Okay,
Yeah.
So come on.
When are you gonna learn that a top 10 for me is a great value play? Still, you're doing this
because I want you to win. I remember when you won down in the Caribbean.
Yeah, you're still down a couple $100 lifetime on me though.
Yeah. Who should we bet on? Give us a guy this week, because just give me a guy, because I need a guy in my league.
There's rules and regulations that I signed that I'm not allowed to do this thing, but there is a guy named Scotty Scheffler. Have you ever heard of him?
Oh, yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he wins a lot. That's a guy I would look for probably.
Yeah, tell us he's a bad guy behind the scenes, because he doesn't seem like it, but is he just a real jerk?
He's a total jerk. He's a butthead to everyone. Yeah, it's a tough guy to be around. He's a great dad. He's a great husband, and he's sneaky funny behind the scenes, and he says hi to everyone. It's a real problem.
Yeah, I'm sure he's well liked, but you guys as a whole, are you happy when he's not playing on a given week?
Yeah, I'm kind of on the PGB tour this year, so don't have to deal with him too much in the signature events and the majors and things. So, if he's in the field and he's going to play well, he's going to win at this point is what it seems like. So, I don't mind. It's nice to have him around a few times, but I'd rather honestly just watch him on TV.
Okay, so we talked about this earlier in the week, how you got the sponsor exemption for the waste management. It is just, it's so damn creative. And for those who don't know, Joel wrote his letter to the waste management group and put it on a T-shirt. If you remember from a few years ago, he and Harry Higgs had ripped off their T-shirts. I think it was in the 17th green, right? And
16th,
was waving
yeah.
16th. That's right, 16th,
Mm-hmm.
and waving them around. And that's what you put your letter on, a shirt, and send it in. How'd you come up with that idea? How long you had been thinking about that?
Yeah. I've been thinking about it a long time because I knew that I really wanted to play this event, my home event. It's one of the most fun ones. Obviously, the crowds are just insane, and the environment's really fun. So something I thought about. I knew that it's a group of Thunderbirds that run the event. I know quite a few of them. So it was kind of feel like I had a decent foot in the door, but I needed something. Most sponsor invites, you just send a letter or an email and you call them and you try to kiss their butt a little bit and tell them how much you like their event. But I just want to be a little unique. It's one of those things that you gotta try to differentiate yourself, because all the letters basically say the same thing. Oh, I love your event. Please give me a spot. All that. So we were coming up with different ways how to do it, and finally, actually, Derek Bolin, my manager, was like, "Oh my goodness, like let's put it on a shirt." And I was like, "Yeah, let's screen." And then it took off from there, and had it made in a couple days, and dropped it off, and they liked it, which was great. And then I think someone posted it this weekend, and it kind of went viral, which is great.
It's
all right,
awesome.
but no chance of are you going to do it again? You probably won't be playing with Higgs, but I imagine
No, I have
if you did it again.
Yeah, I did say in the letter, I will keep my shirt on unless directed otherwise by the Thunderbird. So I think there's really, it's either if you make a hole in one on 16 or make a 20-footer on the last on Sunday to win it. The tarp would probably come off at that point.
Yeah, I love it. Are you going to wear anything? Are you superstitious? Are you going to wear anything Seahawks related this week?
Yeah, so my caddy this week has been Holka, who's actually the equipment manager, one of the equipment managers for the Hawks from 2013 to 2015. So he won the Super Bowl with them, was on the sideline at the 15-yard line, was a ball boy in the Super Bowl when Russell threw the pick. And so and then he was there for 2 more years. So he's got all sorts of Seahawks gear. I have plenty as well, but we plan on, doing a few different things there. There'll be, potentially a jersey, a helmet, something along that line, but there'll definitely be Seahawks related stuff on 16 this week.
Joel, everybody knows this is the only tournament every year on the PGA Tour where everybody's just going nutball. Do you think to grow the game, I'm not saying have a circus every week out there, but is there any talk about maybe trying to have more tournaments in that vein?
Well, I would say that there's actually quite a few golf tournaments now that have tried to do somewhat of a stadium hole around a par 3 or somewhere. The environment, I know Valero does it. Palm Beach has kind of done one. Tampa Bay does one there at Innisbrook. So there's been other things, but it's so organic here and it's blown up so much. And honestly, it is I bet half the people that show up, I think there's, 1 million people come through the gate this week, and there's 250K on Saturday alone. I bet legitimately half of them don't realize there's actually golf being played. It is just a party and it is raging, and there's a golf kind of breaks out in the middle of this party. So, you just can't replicate anything like it. The infrastructure they have and the, all the partners they have around it's just, if you haven't been here, it's hard to even explain what it's like.
All right, so obviously you want to play this weekend. That's the goal. You want to play 2 rounds and then be done. But Sunday, right? They finish before the game.
Yeah.
So you'll have time. So how quickly do you watch it someplace else, or do you just fly home as fast as you can? And what's the setup at the Dahmen household? Having a big Super Bowl party? You going someplace? What's the deal?
Yeah, we're still a little bit up in the air on that. So the goal is to shoot, like a 64 on Sunday. Play great, sneak up that leaderboard, get out of there really quick, because I only live 10-15 minutes from the golf course. So I'm actually going to cruise back here. Other Super Bowl events, we have had ones, bigger parties and bigger things, but I want to watch this game. I want to be in tune with every play. I'm going to be focused on it. So there's a few other Seahawks fans that are going to come over, a few buddies that are Hawks fans as well. So it's going to be pretty light, pretty small, but we're going to probably sit on the outside patio. I got a nice TV out there. Got the beer fridge next to it, and we're gonna, it's gonna be 75 degrees and outdoor patio here in Scottsdale, and we're gonna be rocking and rolling.
Can Jim and I fly down? If we made it down there, could we just hang out in the back patio?
Oh yes, plenty of room for you guys. Absolutely. We'll
Jim,
even keep
fun?
the bedroom open for you.
Oh, doesn't that sound fun, Jimmy?
Yeah, I think so.
75.
I could probably pull that off.
outside.
It's probably, I don't know, 8-hour drive from here, 10-hour drive, something like that.
Oh,
Maybe a little
God,
longer
that's
than
great.
that.
You got
I'm
a
with
lot
you on
longer
this.
than that, Jim.
Yeah, it's longer than an 8-hour drive from Bend.
I don't know.
What
What
are
is
you
it, 12,
talking
14,
about?
16?
It's
Well, I'm in
12. He's in
Bend.
fucking Arizona, man.
I'm
You
in
live in
Bend.
Bend, Oregon.
It's 12
Oh,
from
Jesus.
San Francisco. If you go to Reno,
Good
yeah, you're
Lord.
10 there. I mean, you got to be closer to 20 hours.
What's wrong with you today?
Okay, I'm off
It's
a little bit.
17 hours.
I'm off a little bit.
It's over 1,000 miles. Jim's like,
Whatever.
It's
It
like,
doesn't
it's
matter.
like going to Pullman and back.
Hey, rip me for other shit, but don't rip me for driving time, okay?
Do you think you can make it in
geez.
17 hours? Could you go 17 hours straight, Jim, to get down there? Would you do it?
You kidding me? As old as he is, he's got to pee every 2.
He wears a diaper.
It's
He-
every
right.
3. It's every
He wears a
3,
diaper.
okay?
He wears a diaper and just goes, that just sounds so much fun.
Yeah. And then we'll play a little golf on Monday. We'll have a few beers. We'll be good to go. Come on down.
Yeah, I'm with
I'm
you.
going to be there in March. I don't know if you have any time there at Mesa Country Club, but yeah, I would love to run into you and play a few holes with you.
Well,
that's
you
him
have my number.
asking for
So
a tee
where are
time.
you staying here? Where are you staying down here?
I'll be in Scottsdale.
Oh, great. Well, let's. I mean, we got to at least have a beer. But worst case, I'll play golf. If I'm in town, we will play golf.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
And you can show him what you do on the putting green.
I can
Wait,
show him
Jim?
that every 2 hours, I got to go find a tree to pee behind.
Well, luckily at Mesa, there's plenty of trees for you. You'll be just fine out there.
So there's something we're not going to call out this particular player because it'd be poor form with you on here. But can we do away with the straddling? Jim and I want to do away with the straddling on the green. There's things in sports that I want to get rid of.
Keegan Bradley,
right?
I'll call him out.
No, we're not mentioning names.
Captain Keeks.
Captain Keeks. Like there's rules in sports. Like the football rule that Jim and I hate is when the offense fumbles going into the end zone and goes out of bounds and the defense gets it. I hate that rule. They didn't get the ball. They didn't do anything to get it. The offense should get the ball. Put it
Offense
at
should
the
get
10.
the ball. Okay, I doesn't say at the 10. Okay.
At the 10.
Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Okay. Now,
or give the defensive ball to 1, not to 20.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, the opposite. Okay, the straddling thing. I got it. It's got to end. I can't take it anymore.
So
I can't take it.
Have you guys tried it or tried to understand it?
I think we know what's behind it. If you feel lighter on one side than the other, then it's going to break more in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, basically, if you feel like you're, leaning against, and it's 1%, 2%, or 3%, and based off some math, you can figure it out. That's lighter's an interesting term to use with that, but yes, that's that is correct, I suppose.
But then what's he doing with his fingers when he's pointing kind of down?
It's the aim point.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I'm frozen, but I could. It's a 1% slope, 2% slope for 3.
And Keegan, try this.
Yeah, that's actually.
Stop it. He's got to go on the tour with these people. Stop.
Hey, no one listens to this.
Nobody listens to this podcast.
I understand that no one listens. I get it. I'm well fucking aware that no one listens. I see the ratings.
For $5 a month, you can be a Puck Posse, and it pays for your Ballard Elks membership or whatever
it does,
you're doing there.
I was there on Tuesday, and the drinks keep going up. The prices keep going up, and I don't understand it.
Unbelievable. Yeah, actually, I did. Is it the Elks? Is that where you're at? No,
yeah. I've been to the Scottsdale Elks. That's a great Elks, the one that's across from where the Giants practice, the facility.
Oh, is it down there in Old Town? I have not been to that one. When I reach 40, I'll change my local watering hole to the Elks.
Yeah, that's a good one. Oh boy, do they got a 5-finger pour at that one. Jesus.
Yeah, there's a few around here that do a pretty good job of that.
Okay,
nice.
Joel, did you answer the straddle question? I mean, I know you well enough to think that if you're playing in a group with a guy who does that, you want to strangle him, right?
There are guys that do it faster and more efficient than other guys. And those guys are fine. There's guys that take a while and do some extra marching around, which is a little annoying at times. But if it helps them, it helps them. But overall, as a whole, I would say it's fine. But there's a few outliers that make it difficult for everyone.
All right.
Who's the fastest player on tour?
I'm up there.
Yeah, you're fast. You don't take many practice swings.
No.
Ryan Fox.
Foxy's incredibly quick. Yeah, that's a good call. Matt Jones is famously, I know he went to Live a few years ago, but he is famously like the ball, like if I hit and his ball will be in the air when my ball's in the air. He'll hit that quickly after me, which is incredible and it's fun. Ryan Gerard is a younger good player who's just incredibly quick. That thing, a lot of times it catches you off guard. You're chatting your caddy, you're doing something, all of a sudden the ball flies. You're like, sorry. And it's like, oh, well, it's my fault because I hit too quick, so I'll deal with it. Okay.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, whatever. I find myself, whatever. I think a lot of people, you stand over the ball for like 30 seconds. And you're like, Jesus, you think of all the bad things that are happening.
Yeah,
just go up and let it rip.
Right. There's not, the longer you stand there, it's not positive, affirmations coming out of your brain. So try to hit it quick and get it over with.
Hey, before we get to predictions, one last quick little golf question. We'd be remiss if we didn't ask. Obviously, it's not going to be 100% resounding like, hey, we're glad he's back. There's going to be people on the tour that are like, okay, but why did he go anyway? Brooks Koepka, what are your thoughts on Koepka returning?
Honestly, I'm a little surprised it happened so quickly. I thought it'd be more a sit out a year type thing, like they're making Patrick Reed do. I understand why they had that major rule, and there was 5 names on there. I think it was Koepka, Rahm, DeChambeau, Cam Smith, and someone else. So I understand why they're doing it, because we're for profit now, right? So there's 2 sides of the tour. We've always been a nonprofit, but now we're for profit tour. We took in $3 billion from the MSG or whatever their name is group. I don't know, out of Boston. So when you start taking in money and you go to your private equity and you're supposed to make money, Brooks Koepka is going to help you make money. You trim the fat and you bring in top dogs, and it clearly worked. I don't, rating. He was on everything I saw in golf last week with Brooks Koepka. So it's clearly working. And then the sneaky part is they're actually, a lot of people don't know this, but because they're just adding, he's not taking a spot in the field. Every week he tees it up, they're adding one, but because he's in the field, they're adding 2 more spots to make another threesome. So he's actually helping out guys in my position, kind of down the board, that's adding 2 spots. So in that sense, it's actually pretty good for the tour.
All right. Well, we know
I've got
Jim
one
thinks...
last golf question that I want to sneak in. I know you got to go. You've got more important things
you're
to
good.
do.
We got a few minutes. You got this.
Okay.
Jim.
Well, this is a serious question, but I want to ask it anyway because
he
you
wants
made
to
the
talk Seahawks.
Huh? Well, no,
go
it's
ahead.
just something. It's a personal question, and
the faster you ask it, the faster I can answer it.
Well, okay, all right. Well, let me straddle the question first and kind of line it up.
Jesus.
There you go.
No, all right. So you made the caddy change. I know you've been asked a million questions about it, but the difference with your caddy change is that it was your best friend. And so me as a beta male probably wouldn't have been able to pull the trigger on my best friend like you did. And it's probably going to work out fine. I just am wondering about the personal side of it. I see that Gino's caddying for another player now, Isaiah Salinda.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure it's working out okay for him. But I'll stop talking so you can answer the question. How's your friendship now? How are things in the aftermath of all of that?
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good question. It was probably certainly the hardest thing I've done in professional life. I mean, firing anyone is miserable. I've changed some putting coaches and I've done some things like that. But honestly, I'm not going to say it was mutual, but we weren't making each other better. It was at a point where he was letting me slip. He wasn't holding me accountable as much as he could have, and I was letting him, slip a little bit as well. So it was, when you're together for 12 years, sometimes it's time for a change. But I miss him dearly. I miss him, I miss just hanging out with him all the time. So, but it's professionally, it's fine. I miss him. We still hang out quite a bit. I mean, we separated in July and I stayed with him in August and September. Before I saw you at Apple Cup, we were down in Lewiston. I stayed at his house. So we're still really close. We still talk all the time. He was there to give me a huge hug after the round on Saturday, last week, had a beer together. We plan on staying together on the road, in Puerto Rico and South, where Palm Beach. So we're still really close. We spend a lot of time together, but, there's nothing like having your best friend out there for 6-7 hours at a time. So, I think we'll find each other together again on the golf course, someday, hopefully. But I think it's still good that we are on our own path right now.
Okay. Was he angry and hurt though?
No, he understood. There's almost a little bit of relief from him, probably, in a way, because it's hard. It's hard to, when we're not playing well and things aren't going well, sometimes you have to change things up. So I think, I mean, of course, I mean, I was hurt too. Like it's one of those weird ones that we almost got closer afterwards for a little bit. Like there wasn't a business side to it. It was just strictly friends. We were having dinner and having beers and hanging out, and it was just a ton of fun. But yeah, I still, we're still really close. We still talk, daily almost, and we make sure we're out there, hanging out together still.
All right. The game coming up on Sunday. Now, Jim thinks, hey, there's a chance they're going to lose or certainly not cover. How do you think it's going to play out? Give us a prediction for the game on Sunday.
I think it's going to be lower scoring. I think the Pats are going to score 10, and it's just a matter if we score 21, 24, 28. I think we're going to just kind of play pretty conservatively. Darnold's not going to take too many risks. They're going to take away Smith and Jigba, so someone else is going to have to kind of step up. I feel like our tight ends might come into play for a few big plays over the middle. But I think Pats are going to score 3 in the first half. We're going to shut them down, and we're going to give up a late touchdown, but it's going to be like 21-10 or 24-10. It's just not, it's going to be kind of a boring game. We're just going to grind them out.
God, and you're going to be sitting on your back porch, missing Puck and Jim, but you're having copious amounts of beer in 75-degree weather, probably halftime, jump in your pool and come back out and watch the second half. You know what? F you in your life. That seems glorious, but
Yeah, it's
we're
so
very
good.
envious of.
Do you want to come hang out with my 3-month-old and my 3-year-old who stopped sleeping? I know you guys have kids too, but
yeah, no, not anymore. No,
yeah.
we're good. We're good.
As I just looked out my window and my 3-year-old just took a spill, so glad
There we
I'm not
go.
out there for that.
Yeah,
He's
that's
fine.
good.
He'll be okay.
Thank you. Hey, thank you for the time. It's great catching up with you as always. You're always so generous with your time. We love having you on. So thanks for doing it, Joel.
Of course, thank you guys. I'm a huge fan. I look forward to listening to you guys, and let me know when Jim gets too old because I'll actually come in and do this. It'd be great.
Yeah, great. Well, Jim's
Okay,
too
we
old
got
now.
we got 100. I got 4.5. Right?
Yep, 104.5. Mine goes to the Family Foundation. Your goes to I don't know what you do with your money.
I'm my favorite charity.
His
Okay.
La
There you go.
Fuente Margarita. That's where it goes to.
You make sure when you're down here in March, you let me know the dates, and if I'm in town, we'll get together and we'll make fun of Puck behind his back.
Yeah,
Okay,
perfect.
that'd be great. Thanks, Joel.
All right, thank you, boys. All right, we appreciate it. All right, coming up next, we'll take a quick break. Rob Staton, SeahawksDraftBlog.com is coming up in the bloody trenches with Rob. And, of course, that's all brought to you by Georgetown Brewery.
Drink Georgetown Tavern Beer, your new locally brewed domestic-style lager. 4.2% alcohol. Cheap, good, local.
Big thanks to Joel for coming on. We appreciate you guys watching us to talk to him, and we apologize there about the video there with Joel. His video wasn't working. It was working earlier today, and then I don't know once we went with the show, it just I don't know, for some reason kind of crapped out. That's okay, but at least you got the audio there of Joel talking about how he loves the Seahawks. He's a huge Seahawks fan, huge Mariners fan, just huge Seattle sports fan, and he is just an all-around a great guy. We had a question, I think it was from Jared, who asked, hey, when Joel's off, can you guys go over your relationship again or how we met him? I think just Jim and I had him on one time, long time ago on the radio. And I think it was after, maybe it was after Puerto Rico when he won. And we just like his story. And then it just came to light that when we talked to him, he's like, oh yeah, I listened to you guys. And that was it. That was just kind of the start of the, I guess, friendship there was just, we love watching him play golf. He liked listening to us. And he is just a great guy. He's such an easy guy to root for. And he's just so laid back. And just a normal dude that happens to be really, really great there at golf. All right. From Joel Dahmen, we're going to go more into the Seahawks. Jim will be back, of course, on Friday there as well. More Seahawks. We'll break down the game even further here in the bloody trenches with Rob Staton. Of course, you know Rob's work. SeahawksDraftBlog.com, of course, the YouTube page there as well, Rob Staton. Football, you can also follow him on social media there at Rob Staton. But here he is, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by Georgetown Brewery, makers of Manny's Pale Ale, Bodie, Zaffa, Rogers Pilsner. Tasting room is open. Rob, you're not going to be there, but for our audience, tasting room is open Sunday, regular hours, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then also they have their special last weekend of it. You can fill up 2 growlers of Manny's for just $12. Sit down on your couch, put your feet up, try to relax and watch the Seahawks take on the Patriots. Now, I've heard this from several people, even Joel, who told us this, that, hey, he's going to have a few friends over, doesn't need a big party, wants to watch the game. How are you going to take in the game on Sunday? Is it by yourself? Are you with your family? You have a few friends? What's the setup?
Before I get into that, can I ask what a growler is? Because in England, a growler is something very different to what I think you think it is in America.
Yeah, sure. A growler is just how many ounces is it? 32 ounces? It's like a 32-ounce, just, glass jar that you fill beer in. That's a growler.
Okay.
A growler in England is what?
I can't say, but you might be able to work out that it's a
Am I going to the bathroom?
It's the anatomy of maybe a female. So so that
Oh, I love it.
Any
Topper-
further than that?
hey, top
when you
or
said you
bottom?
could get, when you said when you said you could get a growler, that is a lady's front bottom. So
Front, bottom, real. God, you know what? I just love the verbiage. I do. I love it so much. It's so much better. Growler. Well, yeah, growler's very different. Yeah, I mean, you maybe get a growler there, but you're going to get a growler to drink. So
yeah, it's a very different growler in
Yeah,
America. So what I have to say, Puck, is you asked me how I'm going to be watching the Super Bowl. I will be in on the 9th row at Levi's Stadium.
Oh, you're going to be there. Good for you.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's getting a nice little flight. When do you take off?
Friday morning. So it's 11 hours to get to San Francisco. I don't know how I'm going to get to Santa Clara from San Francisco. Hopefully, the Super Bowl.
Easy. I got it for you.
Go on then. What is
You
it?
take a train. You take a train up. You take a train up, and it takes you to. Oh, there's one last stop. I can't remember what it is. I'll blank on it. You take a train all the way up, and then you jump on the light rail and it takes you to Santa Clara.
Well,
public transportation.
Hopefully, I will get there, and
Yeah, you'll be fine.
and then on Saturday, I don't know what I'm going to do on Saturday. Then I'm there for the game Sunday, and then I'm flying back Monday. So Friday to Monday. Yeah, I said, yeah, I know, but for me, it's like a once in a lifetime thing, and I'm doing this instead. My initial plan was if the Seahawks were going to play in Australia, I was going to do something similar and go and watch the Melbourne game. I've decided that this is better, so I'm going to go and watch the Super Bowl, then fly back to England and be incredibly tired next week.
I think so, but incredibly happy. Is this the first Super Bowl?
Yes, I've never been before. I've never been to a Super Bowl. So
nice. You're gonna love it. Be fun. Get there early. It takes forever to get in.
Well, the hotel I'm at is an hour and a half's walk from the stadium, but I know somebody who is staying in a hotel 30 minutes from the stadium. So my hope is I can maybe get an Uber to his.
Okay.
Very early, and then when it's not too busy, and then maybe walk to the stadium, and then, like you say, get there early, get in, and relax. Although it's going to rain, I think, on Sunday. So
I thought the weather was good. I thought it was good all week.
I don't know. I've seen mixed things. Like on the Apple app, it says clear, and then on some of the others, it says rain. But I hope it's clear because I don't want to get wet. But
yeah.
I just can't wait for the game. I can't wait to get out there. I wish it was Friday morning now. I want to get out there.
Has anything, leading up to the game, right? Is anything changed here since last time we talked? I mean, have you talked yourself more into being nervous, less nervous about the game?
No, I mean, I was pretty nervous about the Niners game just because I didn't want to lose to the Niners more than anything else. And I didn't want them to waste the opportunity. Like for me, it was always about, you've got 2 home games to get to the Super Bowl. And if you don't get there, I was always going to be wondering, like, well, what could have been? And if we were sat here today, Puck, and we were talking and we were previewing, like, let's say the Rams against the Patriots, that would have been really frustrating. But they managed to actually win the 2 home games to get here. And now that they're here, for me, it's just like, let's just see what happens. Like, I'm not nervous at all. I'm confident. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm not suggesting if there's any Patriots fans that they seem to be sort of following the Seahawks channels everywhere and sort of taking issue with everything that's positive about the Seahawks. But for me, I think that they have a chance, New England, but the Seahawks should win. And that's how I'm viewing it. And I think if they just manage to play a relatively clean game of football, doesn't have to be flawless, may even be a turnover or 2. If they can basically play 4 quarters of football that we know the Seahawks are capable of, I think they will win.
Yeah. I think that's kind of right. Has been kind of the general consensus. I think everyone's trying to figure out some way or some scenario in which Seattle doesn't win the game, which makes a lot of Seattle, like a lifetime Seattle sports fan like myself, it makes us very nervous. This is very uncharted waters for us to be the team that is just everyone is predicting and expecting them to win. But it is hard to find, a real plausible path, I guess, for New England to win the game. I mean, I can't see it with watching them play. And again, I haven't watched all 18 or so or how many games they've played. I haven't watched every one of them. I've watched majority of the playoff games. And again, they should obviously be given credit for what they did. They went through 3 teams that are very good defensively. But again, this is a different beast that they're going to see there on Sunday. So I don't know. I have seen this game, Rob, play out like a multiple ways. I've seen everywhere from it's going to be really close to the end. It's going to be a game like the last regular season game against San Francisco, or I think they're just going to throttle them.
Well, I'd very much like a throttling, if that is possible. That would make my trip all the better. But I think the thing I don't want to spend too much time sort of talking about what the Patriots could do to win, because it feels as if no one's going to want to hear too much of that stuff. But I think I went back and I watched bits of the AFC Championship game when Mike Vrabel was coaching the Titans against the Chiefs. That was about 6 years ago. It was 6 years ago. And I think we can all agree that in that game, the Chiefs were heavily favored, and the Titans went into it sort of feeling like maybe they had to engineer some moments that could shift it in their favor. So one of the things they came up with was they had Dennis Kelly, big offensive tackle, as an eligible receiver. They threw a touchdown pass to him in the red zone. Sure. And it's a trick play. They had a fake punt where the punter ran around to the right-hand side and then launched it downfield for a 25-yard gain, and they converted that fake punt. So I would imagine that Vrabel, who admitted last week, I try and project how many points I need per game, and we sort of base our game plan around that. The Seahawks are averaging 31 points per game in their last 5 games. They were all against playoff teams. So he's probably going to feel he needs more than 30 points. So I think he's going to be aggressive. He's going to go for it on fourth down a lot. He's going to have some trick plays. I think if you manage those moments, let's say they try one of those early on, or they go for fourth down early on. If you stop them, I think you will see the air come out of the New England balloon and you can take control of this game.
Yeah. I think that, you again look at them and they're going to know that there's going to be a lot of trick plays, right? And I would think that New England's just going to throw everything out there. But I think also at the same time, I think Seattle is going to be prepared for that. I think it's probably the same mentality of what they probably prepared for San Francisco going to the divisional round, knowing that they were undermanned, outmatched, their injuries and all that they were going to probably try and throw some stuff out there that maybe they haven't seen before. We saw that early in the game, right? They tried that fourth down play where they run that little speed option with use check that didn't end well. I mean, not saying that's a trick play, but maybe something they haven't seen before. But, I think sometimes the only thing would have, people worried a little bit, if you're going to be worried, is that, no one's expecting them to win. No one's picking them to win. And, sometimes players, they feed off that, right? And I bet Mike Vrabel's going to do a good job of trying to motivate those guys. But, I think at the same time, everyone's going to use some type of chip on their shoulder, and Seattle will use that. Hell, everybody wants New England to win. No one wants us to win, even though we're favored to win. So each team can use it to their advantage. That's what's great about it.
They can to an extent. I always think stuff like that, and obviously I've never played in a football game, so I don't know for sure, but I always kind of feel a little bit like that. All those kind of things work really well until somebody smacks you in the face for the first time in the first quarter. And then you're in a game, and then you've got to just sort of, pull your pants back up and get up out there. So I think that really it's about the keys for me, apart from sort of the trick plays. Vrabel's a good coach and Josh McDaniels is a good coach. You're going to have to outmatch them and outwit them a little bit. But Mike Donald's an exceptional coach. He's proven that now. He's got to a Super Bowl in his second season. I think Clint Kubiak's been on a heater for the last few weeks. And, the Seahawks had to outgun Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay in their last game. That's why they won. It wasn't because of the defense. And Kubiak and Darnold managed it. They stuck a ton of points on the Niners, and their game plan was very good. And they moved the ball in both those Niners games very well. It's just a shame in that first game they only got 13 points because the kicker couldn't kick in this stadium, which might be a thing. I don't want to scare anybody, but also that they just missed opportunities there in the red zone. But they put them right in the next game. And even when you think about that Rams game, it was a certain kind of game. It got to the fourth quarter, they worked some things out, scored some touchdowns, got 3 2-point conversions. I know one of them was lucky. So I think Kubiak there can definitely make amends. And I just feel as if, over time in a game, if you have I think if you sort of wrote down the top 50 players on each roster, the vast majority of them would be Seahawks players. And, they may well take a couple of early punches in this game, and it might be close at halftime. I just have a hard time imagining that. I do think it would have to be a disaster performance, really, for them to not find a way. And the game that I keep thinking, this won't mean anything to anybody who is listening to this, But it very much reminds me of when England won the Rugby World Cup in 2003. They were very much favoured in Australia. They made it closer than they should have done, but even when they didn't play their best, they still were just too strong. And that's how I think that might be a worst case scenario. And I think I'm very confident that come the end of that game, it'll be growlers all round when the clock hits 0.
Well, and I'm terrible. There's 64 ounces, not 32. Thank you for people pointing that out. I'm, you have to understand with me, and I think you do. I'm pretty much a known idiot, Rob. So 64 ounces. Now, again, a growler here different than a growler where you're at. I prefer where the growler where you're at.
Well, many would say that they agree with that.
I think. I think the one thing that I would say for Seattle's advantage is going to be this, which is kind of obvious. And I want to get to and I didn't get to this earlier with Joel and Jim about Mike McDonald, which is just a crazy stat and just piece of Super Bowl history. But Drake Maye's been sacked 15 times. And I think Michael Shandugar, when he was on this week, had just a really good point about how you look at maybe the offenses this year that Seattle hasn't gotten after the quarterback. Hasn't sacked him that much. Obviously, Stafford being one. They just never, I think they only sacked him once in 2 years, I think is what the stat is. Phillip Rivers, same thing. And Mike's point was, you're talking about veteran quarterbacks. Those are guys that have seen everything for the most part. They get the ball out really fast. They don't want to take sacks. So their clock gets sped up, or they can read defenses quickly, and they don't take sacks not because they're mobile. It's because they can process it fast. They've seen everything. He goes, I think you're going to see a difference with May, and I think he's right. Because Drake Maye has got this athleticism to him, and what does he want to do? He wants to extend plays. Now, maybe it bites him in a few plays, because certainly I think he's going to have a few scrambles where he gets away. He's a very capable running quarterback. But I think that's the thing with May that's different than Stafford, Phillip Rivers, or another one of these quarterbacks is not mobile, is that he's going to want to hold the ball for like a second longer to try and make a play. And I think that's going to play into Seattle, because I think they're going to get to him and he's going to take some sacks. And I think a defense that really did not get after Matt Stafford in the championship game I think that front line is going to have a real nice game, I think, Sunday against May.
Matthew Stafford was practically, it was almost impossible to defend him in that NFC championship game. Like, the ball was coming out so quick. The protection did just enough to enable him to have that split second to get it out. And then he had just unbelievable players like Puka Nacua is just a cheat code at this point, and Devontae Adams stepped up to the plate because he's desperate to get to a Super Bowl. And the Pats have good players, and Drake Maye is an excellent player as well, excellent young player. But I tend to agree with you. You are going to have to find a way to contain him. But I think they can do that. I think they can get him down. I've just got this vision of I think fourth quarter pressure is such an important thing typically in the Super Bowl. Who is most likely to make those big plays in the fourth quarter? And I've just got a vision of Leonard Williams or DeMarcus Lawrence, two experienced players making a big sack or something late on. I actually went back and watched the 2024 game between these two teams. I know a lot's changed with New England since then, but Boya Mafe had a big game in that one. And I just wonder, in his final game, he's not had the season that he would have wanted to in a contract year, but I just get this, maybe there's this nagging feeling that he's going to go off into free agency off the back of a great Super Bowl performance. So I think speed will be an issue there. Will Campbell's a left tackle. I was not a big Will Campbell fan going into the draft. I was really surprised that this kind of consensus emerged that he was going to be a top 6 pick. His short arms, for me, I thought his pass protection at LSU in his final season was awful. He has not played very well in the last few weeks, and he's injured. I think you can get after him. And the other thing I keep hearing, Puck, and this has hurt me a little bit this week, is just the I don't know if it's just sort of forced narrative, maybe, that we need to find a way to pump up the Patriots. But this idea that, the Pats have a great defense too. And I'm like, okay, well, what's your evidence for that? And the evidence always given is, well, they only gave up 9 points per game in the 3 playoff games. And I'm thinking, you played Justin Herbert, who's like 50% healthy, with neither of his offensive tackles on the field. You played CJ Stroud, who had the worst game of quarterbacks played probably all season, in the next round. And then you had Denver's backup quarterback in a snowstorm. Right. With the greatest respect, it's not Matthew Stafford and McVay and Shanahan, is it? So I'm not having that all of a sudden the Seahawks are coming up against this vastly underrated defense.
Yeah, and they are also another element that I think a lot of people are propping up, especially with their defense, is this run defense, right? All this run defense is, you gotta be real careful. And again, maybe they stop their run on Sunday. I do think it's a key. I mean, I think it's the key to every game. You need to establish a run, at least the threat of the run, to be able to pass and play action, all that stuff. But it's nice to have that balance. And I think this could be a game. I mean, unless you tell Kenneth Walker, listen, this may be your last game, potentially could be your last game. You need to, we're not taking you off the field. You're staying in. I'd love to have Zach Charbonnet just to have that 1-2 punch. He's better in the running game than Holani. I mean, Holani was okay in the championship game. He had that one drop, but, also he had a couple of other key catches in that game. But you go back to New England's defense, right? I mean, they've had games this year in which, I know it was a blowout win, but the Jets had 100 and something yards against them. It was a blowout victory. So again, I'm not going to take too much away from that, but the Ravens got 171 in a 4-point loss in that game. Prior to that game, the Bills torched them for $168 in a win. It's not like this is this defense that is just shutting people down in the running game, like what Seattle has done. So I think we need to pump the brakes a little bit on that, of how good they are in their run defense. Not to say that maybe that's the game plan going in. Hey, we're going to try and do everything that we can to take away maybe Ken Walker, maybe force you to pass. I don't know what they're going to try and do. Everyone's got the same game plan every game. And I don't know how this one's going to be any different, because it's always, well, if we take away JSN, we'll make somebody else beat us. Well, I think every team's tried to do that. For some reason, it hasn't worked, and they have a counter to that every single time. So I think it's impressive what they've done at times on defense, but I think it's a little overblown, especially in the run defense.
Yes, and I also think that I've seen one or two people in the New England media talking about Sam Darnold and sort of asking him a few questions, and that's exactly what they have to do. They have to give him looks that make him uncomfortable.
Sure.
You could easily say, well, hang on a minute, Drake May's in his second season in the NFL. There's a lot of things that Drake Maye has not experienced yet. And he has not come up against a gauntlet of great teams. And when he has played in the playoffs against good defenses, he hasn't looked very good. And they've created a whole bunch of pressure on him. He didn't play very well against the Texans, and the Texans threw that game away. They should have. If CJ Stroud had played a 6 out of 10 in that game, the Texans probably win, but they didn't. He threw 4 interceptions. They had a fumble as well from the running back, at least one fumble. And he hasn't played very well in any of these games. So I think really it's a case of you've just got to get out there, just go and win the game.
Yeah.
Just go and win the game. It's there for the Seahawks. Sometimes you tend to overthink these things as time's gone, and I've never felt uncomfortable saying the Seahawks should win this game. They should win this game. Doesn't mean they will, but I'm very, very confident they will.
Are you surprised by this little stat or news note that came out this week? I don't know who the first person to have it. It was Mike Sando, and I think I saw it with Dugar wrote about it as well. If the Seahawks win, Mike McDonald will become the first ever head coach in the history of the sport, in the history of the Super Bowl, to be the game-winning head coach at the same time serving as the team's defensive coordinator. I mean, that is pretty remarkable when you think about it. There's never been ever in the history of the Super Bowl a head coach that calls the defensive plays. We certainly have seen plenty of coaches call the offensive plays, but never on the defensive side.
Well, the thing we sometimes forget with football is, especially with the introduction of the analytics crowd and the cool kids on Twitter, that we kind of feel like the game, we treat the game almost sometimes like it's changed when certain things come in, and that it's never reversible, that it's never going to go back to anything. And I do think that this season, what we've discovered, and I think this has been evident in the way that some teams now have been prepared to appoint defensive-minded head coaches, is we are seeing a little bit of a shift. And we see it in other sports as well. I cover English football a lot, and the trends with tactics, they shift all the time. You have little eras where 3 or 4 years where a certain tactic is favored, and then everything changes. And I think we're going through a bit of a sea change with the NFL right now. And I do think that teams will learn a little bit from all this aggressive fourth down stuff that we've seen in the playoffs, and especially if, hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, knock on wood, that the team that has been perhaps the most reasonable, I think, in the Seahawks with this over the course of the season may win the Super Bowl. And I think with defensive-minded play callers And I spoke to somebody who used to be a GM in the NFL a few years ago about this, and he said, at the moment, this was when the Shanahan offense was at its absolute peak. He says, I'm telling you now, in a few years' time, it'll have shifted to something else. Like it'll go back to this other kind of form of offense, or you'll see the running game really reemerge again and the importance of running backs. He says everything it just goes round. It's cyclical. We go through trends. And we may well be entering another trend now that maybe the dawn of the need a great quarterback and a young play caller and the quarterback's on a rookie contract and stuff like that. Maybe that era has shifted on now, and maybe sort of tough, physical, trenches-based football with a hard-nosed, principled head coach is going to take a step forward.
All right, well, before we get to your final thoughts, predictions, how you think it's going to play out, Clint Kubiak, what'd you make of his decision? Again, not finalized, will become finalized after the game, but to take the Raiders' job.
Not surprised. I actually had a look, and I think the fact that they paid Chip Kelly last year $6 million and completely reset the offensive coordinator market, the Raiders, suggests that they're very willing to overpay to get a coach that they want. And I would imagine that it emerges potentially when this is all done that maybe Clint Kubiak, you could sort of say the more modest bracket could be $15 million a year. It could be anywhere up towards 20 because that's where the coaching market is. And he did a good job sort of leveraging the Cardinals against the Raiders. And I wouldn't be surprised if we find out he's on an absolute fortune to take this job where there was no choice but to take the job. Because if he turned it down and said no, you could be talking like $100 million it's cost him in by all accounts. So I think he had to take it. I don't know how it's going to go. He does obviously have a very good tight end and a reasonable left tackle, but question marks galore on that. It creates a problem though, Puck, for the Seahawks because the market's so thin for offensive coordinators. I don't know how many of the staff he'll be able to take with him. You cannot appoint people just laterally. Like, you can't just go, I'll have him, and him for the same job in Vegas. The Seahawks would have to sanction that unless those coaches are out of contract. I want to know, and I wish someone would find this out, whether John Benton's only on a 1-year contract. 'Cause if he is, he'll be able to walk away and go and join Clint Kubiak. If he's on a 2-year contract or whatever, then he ain't going anywhere unless he gets promoted. So those are the kind of things we need to think about here. I suspect they're probably going to appoint from within just because it will be the easiest thing to do, given the time scale and the extent that you've gone through a large chunk of the offseason already. The Senior Bowl was last week, for crying out loud. You haven't got time to sort of do a 2 or 3 week offensive coordinator search. They would have to do the Rooney Rule before they appointed internally, though, so that would take a bit of time. But I think it probably will be internally just because the pool of candidates outside is not great. The fear that I have, Puck, and I don't want to put a downer on things for the Super Bowl, is that you have really needed to be great on offense, defense, and special teams to get to this Super Bowl. If the offense takes a step back, you will notice that you quickly go from legit Super Bowl contender to back to team that hopes to get into the playoffs, which is what they were a year ago, quite quickly.
Yeah, we'll see what they do if they go internally or go outside. And I would suspect they stay in that offensive tree, right? It would make sense, and it would only be the best thing there for certainly Sam Darnold. All right, before you run on us and then get on a flight here in a couple days, what do you think? How do you think it plays out? If you want to give a score prediction, go ahead.
Well, before I give you my prediction, I predicted for the NFC Championship 32-27. And it was 31-27.
Damn good, sir.
So I hope that means that my prediction that I'm about to give you will be equally as productive. So last week, I was thinking it was going to be 28-20 to the Seahawks. I am going to revise that down to 27-10.
I enjoy the dramatic pause. How do we conclude to 27-10?
I don't know how they're going to get there. I think it might be close early on. Then there's a bit of separation.
Okay.
Then the Patriots threaten maybe a bit of a drive going, but you just slam the door shut. And I think they're going to be too strong.
Okay. Well, I'll take it. Give me 27-10. I will take that all day long. Safe travels. Enjoy. Have you ever been to San Francisco?
No.
Enjoy it. It's a great city. Awesome. Beautiful city. Yeah. Before people, I know the comments. Well, no, it's not. It's all run down. It's a great city. You're gonna enjoy it. Take that train up to Santa Clara. Enjoy yourself. Have fun at the Super Bowl, Rob. We'll be watching from afar. Appreciate the time as always.
Good luck to the Seahawks, and I hope everybody enjoys the game.
There he is, Rob Staton, SeahawksDraftBlog.com. Rob Staton Football on YouTube, social media. Rob Staton, his weekly appearance brought to you by our good friends there at Georgetown Brewery. Makers of Manny's Pale Ale, Bodie, Zaffa, Rogers Pilsner, just some great beers. And again, their tasting room beer garden is open 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. this Super Bowl Sunday. And you can fill up 2 growlers of Manny's for just $12. And that's right, a growler is 64 ounces, not 32. I'm an idiot. What do you want from me? All right. Sorry. All right. If you're joining the live show now, a reminder, we started off the show, the first 30 minutes of the show, myself and Jim Moore with the great Joel Dahmen. Joel with us earlier today. So if in case you missed that, check out the podcast later, all your favorite podcast platforms, Apple and Spotify, and of course, YouTube there as well. And a reminder too, before we get to on this day, tomorrow we're going to release the live show is going to be released at 8 a.m. Then we'll drop it again at 10, and then throughout the day. Just have to go a couple hours early. I've got some personal things going on, so we just need to do it early tomorrow. And then Friday, we're just going to drop the show at 10 a.m. So 10 a.m., there will be no live show. We're just going to drop the show at 10. It will include everyone, maybe not Egan. We're still trying to work that out with Chris because of his schedule right now. They're covering the Winter Olympics. But we'll have you covered with Bob Condota, Troy Wins, and then, of course, the go-to guy, Jimmy Moore. All right, on this day, we'll get to it. It's always, of course, brought to you by Hive Social. Download the Hive Social app today. It's the best way to find friends near you. Plus, you can discover events in your neighborhood. Plan hangouts with your crew and make real connections. Just go to the App Store and search Hive Social. That is HYV Social. Available free on iOS and Android. Get the official social meetup app of Puck Sports, and we can get connected. And it's a great place to get connected to find out where everybody is watching the Super Bowl coming up there on Sunday. If you're one of those people that likes a big crowd, wants to be around people, download Hive Social to your phone, and you can find where everyone's watching the game coming up on Sunday. That is HYV Social. On this day, February 4th, 1991, baseball's Hall of Fame officially bars Pete Rose 12-0. Unanimous vote due to his betting on games as a player and manager. Last year, he became eligible for induction into the Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, he passed away back in 2024 when he ended his career 4,256 hits. Unbelievable. And a career 303 hitter. On this day, February 4th, 2007, Peyton Manning leads the Colts to a Super Bowl victory over the Chicago Bears, and Rex Grossman in that rainstorm. I think that was in Florida. 1997, Pittsburgh Penguins star Mario Lemieux scored a 600th goal, becoming the 7th player in NHL history to do so. February 4th, happy birthday is going out to rock star Alice Cooper, is 78 today. One of, if not the most feared defensive player in the history of the NFL. Lawrence Taylor is 67. Defensive Player of the Year in 1981, 1982, 1986, of course, Pro Football member of the Hall of Fame. All of that happening on this day, February 4th. And on this day, brought to you by Hive Social. That is HYV Social, the official social meetup app for Puck Sports. Download it to your iPhone or Android phone, iOS and Google Play stores. Available. That is HYV Social. Wrap up the show with Hey What the Puck, which is brought to you by Restoration One. You got any issues to your residential or commercial property, fire, mold, or water damage, restoration1.com is going to take care of you. Visit their website. I saw this last night, or maybe it was 2 nights ago, this video that was taken by, and appreciate Andrew Quinn, who is the sports director at Crim 2 News there in Spokane. Andrew had shot this video. I'd heard about this story, but last night, it was senior night at Colfax High School for the Colfax Bulldogs basketball program. And they were honoring, of course, all of their seniors But one of their seniors has got a heavy heart yesterday because of his father. His father is Reese Jenkins, and I'm showing the video. His father, Reese, is the head basketball coach there at Colfax. He's battling stage 4 cancer. He's been away from the team as he's been undergoing treatment. He returned last night for a senior night for his son, Adric. And Colfax had finished the regular season, and Adric had led the team with 38 points in that victory the other night for the Colfax Bulldogs. He has been coaching this group of seniors there at Colfax since the 3rd grade. So not only an emotional night for Reese, his son, and the other seniors on that team who he's all been coaching for ever. It was a really emotional video to watch. I think, if you're a father or mother and you've ever coached your son or daughter in a sport, you understand the connection that you have with your child and then with the other kids on the team. But there's always that special kind of unique bond between, father, mother, daughter, son when you're coaching, and also being mom and dad. And he was very emotional last night. He's an individual that's very respected in and around that area, in that Spokane basketball community, which includes Colfax, even though they're, hour and a half south of them. But it's a very tight-knit community. That high school basketball in that state and in that area is very good. Always has been, just great. And it's a community that kind of all pulls for each other. Reese has been coaching Colfax, the Bulldogs, for 18 seasons. And they're a long, long time. He's led Colfax to 8 consecutive state title tournament appearances, a state title champion in 2012 and 2024. And again, we said this before, there's nothing like coaching your son or daughter in a sport and to share their special moments with them. Obviously, Reese got to share that special moment last night. I'm sure he and his son and family wish they were still on the court and on the sideline coaching, but he's trying to get better and get healthier. And, cancer is no joke. So we just want to say we wish Reese best in his recovery. Thoughts go out to the Colfax community. If you're a Coug, you drive through there every time you go back to Pullman, right? You swing through Colfax. So to everybody in that community, to the Colfax High School, to their basketball program, shout out to Reese and the crew. And hopefully Reese can get better and is with us and is back on the court next year coaching the Colfax Bulldogs. Big thanks to Andrew Quinn for letting me use that video. Appreciate it to Andrew. That's A What the Puck, again, brought to you by Restoration One. Any damages to your residential commercial property, reach out to them, restoration1.com, North Seattle franchise. Thanks for everybody watching and listening to today's show. Big thanks to Joel Dahmen for joining Gemini on the show today. He never looked better, I'll tell you that. Thank you to all our sponsors, Limback Lumber, Georgetown Brewery. Again, tasting room open Sunday at 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restoration One and Hive Social. Big thanks to gym sponsors on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Clean Streak, Brotherton Cadillac, and the Angry Beaver. Today's Daily Puck Drop, find it up on YouTube. You may watch the videos, but don't subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, like button, leave a comment. Try to get to as many as we possibly can. You can also find the Daily Puck Drop on your favorite podcast platforms. And, of course, up at pucksports.com. When you're there, you can sign up to become a Pucks Posse member. It's just $5 a month. Support everything that we do here daily. Plus, we give you bonus shows throughout the week. We do have Tuesdays, a sports pit out with Matt Stretch Johnson. He's headed to the game. We also have an Inside Pitch with Ryan Divish is out. That came out on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. And coming up tomorrow, KJ Arntz with Mitch Levy. And be sure to Graz and Gas Take 5 podcast is going to come out later today, so be on the lookout for that. Of course, we now produce it here at Puck Sports. All right, that's it for us on a Wednesday. We will talk to you tomorrow, a Thursday's edition. KJ Arntz and Mike Garafolo there of the NFL Network. Until then, as always, we promise to be better.
No shoes, no ties.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for? We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!